Hello YouTube and welcome to Turmoil in the Toybox. I'm your host Aaron Hauser, and today we're going to be doing a review of my collection of figures, 7-inch and the 18-inch figure from the film The Crow, which was directed by Alex Proyas and starring the late Brandon Lee. Great film, definitely one of my favorites growing up, and it's just so beautifully shot and just really well directed. But I was really excited when I found out years ago that NECA was actually planning on doing several different releases of figures from this film. And yeah, I have 3 different ones here. We have on the left the NECA Cult Classics Series 1 Eric Draven. And this is just kind of a very basic figure with the stand, as with most of the Cult Classics line. This is also a smaller representation of a deluxe box set that NECA released from the final showdown scene where Eric takes on Top Dollar, the kingpin in town. So this is just kind of a smaller release of that. Over here we have the NECA Cult Classics. This is the Series 4 version from the Icon series, and it's very minimalistic. It just comes with the figure itself. The only accessory is the crow, which is displayed on his shoulder. And this was originally released as another Cult Classics, like a whole set where it had a display base that looked like a tombstone, I believe. But this was just a repackaging for the Cult Classics Icon series. And then back here we have my favorite version. This is the Hall of Fame Series 3 Crow. And as you can see, I don't think this was actually taken directly from a shot in the film, but it's kind of just a couple different representations of portions of the film. Of course, you have Eric with his guitar, and then a very cool display base that actually looks like the calling card that the Crow would leave during the film. So he actually has 2 different pegs on this one that his heels go into, and he stands up fairly well. As far as articulation on these figures, it's fairly limited, but that's kind of how it was with the original Cult Classics releases. For instance, this one has articulation in the wrists, the shoulders. This one doesn't actually have that much movement. The head just swivels back and forth, and then there's movement at the waist, and then at the ankles you can rotate those somewhat. So it kind of comes in that pre-posed look, which is about all you can do with it, but it's a really cool display piece. This figure goes for about $14 with free shipping actually through Amazon.com. I would definitely recommend getting it. I know a lot of these Crow figures are some of them are fairly cheap. I think you can get the majority of them still, which is nice. The detail on this is very cool though. As far as accessories, besides the bass, obviously he does come with his guitar. If you look, you can see he's got kind of the bullet wounds in his back there. I wasn't really happy with the way they kind of did his chest. He kind of looks like a big toe, almost. It just doesn't really look as defined as it could have been, I suppose. But for what it is, it's not bad. So that's about it for that one. For the Icon series version, take him off the stand here. He does not come with this stand. This is just one I provided. Give you kind of a close-up look here. He's got articulation in the upper hip there. Nothing in the knee. He rotates at the ankle, at the shoulders, and then at the wrists, and then pivots left to right. Well, this one actually doesn't turn as much just because it's very tight. This one I picked up at Toys R Us last year. I want to say this one was about 14 or 15 bucks. I believe you can still get it for around, it goes for, I think, 18 bucks on Amazon. This is a very cool figure, though. He doesn't really come with any accessories except for the crow on his shoulder, which is actually detaches. There's a peg, which you have to kind of carefully line up. Get him to stick there. His jack is made of this kind of thicker plastic, which kind of helps to balance him. On his own, the figure is very... He kind of has a hard time standing up, so you kind of have to mess with his ankle articulation a little. Like that, it's not that bad, but I mean, you blow hard enough, he'll probably topple over. But like I said, the original release of this came with a stand, which would have completely eliminated that, so... But overall, very cool figure. And then we'll go back here, and we have the Series 1 release from the Cult Classics line. And this figure, I had a couple different problems with when I received this figure in the mail. I don't know if it was just due to storage or what, but it had several different issues with it. Let me see if I can show you. The elbow joint was actually completely split open here, and I had to, in that little area right there, fill it with modeling glue to kind of help keep the arm in place from having the joint pop out. So that was kind of a pain. As far as articulation in this one goes, ankles, nothing at the hips there. He spins slightly at the torso, has a rotation in the shoulders, and then at the elbows on a kind of a pivot, and then the upper wrist on this side, and then the lower wrist on this side also rotate. On this, he also has a bit more head movement. And anybody that's seen the film knows this is from the final battle against Top Dollar. So it comes with the spike that he pulls off the top of the building while he's fighting. So that goes into his hand quite easily. But like I said, it kind of only has one position to be in for this figure. But that's okay. It looks pretty cool. If you can, I would suggest actually getting the whole deluxe set that comes with Eric and Top Dollar. It looks very cool. I still haven't been able to get my hands on one of those yet, but definitely looking forward to it. But with the base, it's actually a very cool display piece. It looks really nice. So if you really don't want the huge rooftop display piece with it, this is a more minimalistic way to go, which works. So those are the three 7-inch figures, and I will get the 18-inch one down so I can give you guys a run through on that one. Alright, here we have the 18-inch Cult Classics version of Eric Draven. And this is modeled the exact same way as the 7-inch Icon Series one. So, same articulation in the ankles there, pivots right at the hip there, waist, wrist rotation, neck is just pivots left and right. And I think that's about it as far as articulation. He does come with the the motion activated sound feature, which is cool. Turn that on here.
I say I'm dead, and I move. Mother is the name for God on the lips and hearts of all children. Can't rain all the time. Victims. Aren't we all? They're all dead. We just don't know it yet. Guess it's not a good day to be a bad guy. And I say I'm dead. And I move.
So yeah, he actually says quite a few different phrases, which is cool. As far as accessories goes, he just comes with the crow, same as the 7-inch, and that actually clips onto his shoulder the exact same way through a little peg right underneath his hairline there. Now, the real problem I had with this figure is just the same as I had with the 7-inch. The balance is very hard to get right on this. As you can see, all of his body weight is put onto this very pinned sort of stance. So his feet are very close together, which makes him very, very easy to topple over. So I mean, you could fix that by probably getting a large doll stand. You know, if you got a black one, you wouldn't notice it as much. Plus, it would, you know, help balance it out a little bit better. And then the sculpt on this one's very nice. The paint job's very good. I like the fact that, as with the 7-inch, it actually does have his fiance's wedding ring on a little chain around his neck, which I thought was kind of a cool touch. But yeah, everything from his jacket to the way his boots look. The crow itself is a little plasticky looking, but it's okay. Can turn around here. It's nice. The switch for the motion activated sound feature is kind of in the middle of one of these tears on his back, so you don't really notice it as much. You see he's kind of wobbling there. Overall, this is a very cool figure, though. I got this one for about 50 bucks, I want to say, through Amazon.com, and I know you can still get it relatively cheap on eBay, and you just kind of have to look around. But yeah, this is definitely one of the easier to find 18-inch large-scale figures from NECA, but it's definitely worth it, especially if you're a fan of the film. And it's a really cool-looking display piece, so yep. I think that's about all I got for you. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. And check out some of my other reviews. Thanks for watching.